The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 368 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez and my co-host as always is...
the magistrate of Caravan City, Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, buddy, what's up?
Gomez, I am the realest American.
Oh, are you? Okay.
You know, people like to go on social media and talk about their patriotism, and people like to go to the NFL and unfurl their 100-yard length flags, but that's all for show.
It is.
I'm not for show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about this patriot life. You know why? Because today I served my country for 3.5 hours at jury duty.
Oh, that's too short. Oh, no.
I finally went. They took me in. They made me sit there and wait.
It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of waiting, bro.
And I listened to my favorite podcast, the JoeMeZ podcast, available anywhere you get podcasts. And then I got called. The first case of the day, they said, we need you. And I said, I know you do. And I'm here to serve. And I went. And as I waited again in a different hallway, I eventually saw people walk out. And I saw someone say to someone else, okay, now stay out of trouble. And I said, oh my God, they settled. I'm getting out of here. And I did.
Damn.
But that's what I did for America.
I love it. I mean, that's what better day can you ask for?
They call me the Papa Smurf of patriotism.
Tuesday.
They say that. They say that man is the Nancy Sinatra of nationality.
Oh, it's gonna be a good show. Oh man, I was looking forward to hearing some stories from jury duty, but this is what a
the best part. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I didn't even have to get no bullshit Subway sandwich for lunch. They let me go before lunch this time. It was spectacular.
Yeah. Oh my God! And what is it? 6 years, 8 years? What is it before you have to go back?
They go, you're good for 12 months. I was like, 12 sounds a lot less than it should.
12 months. What the fuck?
What new rule is minimum of 4?
Yeah, I've always heard so 12 months. Oh man, I'm excited though. Maybe next year. Ooh, baby.
I'm at the point now where I'm like, I may not be around long enough to do jury duty ever again.
If they said 6 years, 12 months, bro, you're gonna be around. You good?
I don't know.
Look at you. Your fist. Look at that. Look at the shape you're in. Come on, bro.
It's bad. This is bad shape. Like a pear.
I love a pear. Pears are delicious.
They're horrible.
No, they're so good.
And they're misshapen.
That's what's wrong with a pear shape. I like a pear shape. Pear shapes
God, it looks terrible. It's like a fucked up potato.
I like a brown pear, but the green ones are good too. But brown,
I like a potato.
I love a potato, not a sweet potato.
A real potato. Because those sweet potatoes aren't real potatoes, but a baked potato with like some butter, some bacon bits, some melted cheese, sour cream, loaded, as we say on the streets.
The best. Love a loaded anything. Man, when they decided, guys, why does the potato get all the fun? Let's load some other things up. Oh, what a great day. Loaded mashed potatoes. Woo,
loaded fries.
Loaded tots and fries. I love it. Give me
I'm a big tots guy. Tots don't get enough play. Yeah.
I just had tots for dinner. So good.
Oh, that sounds like a good dinner. That was it. That was dinner, right? Just tots.
That was it. I mean, I ate a lot of tots. I did. Because when you make a tots, especially a big tray for the whole family, you gotta
have to overcook. Yeah.
So and I gotta taste it. I gotta make sure the food is right. Make sure it's the right consistency, right? You want a little nice crispy, but not too crispy, not too soft. It's gotta be perfect. So I feel sometimes when it's dinner time, I'm not really hungry because I've been eating the whole time.
Tater tots, bouncing from one side of the tray to the next until it's just right.
You gotta make sure the oven is distributing that heat nice and evenly. I can't have the back row getting all toasty and the front. What are we doing? We can't have that, bro. Come on.
Thank you guys for listening to the Card JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to smash that subscribe button, leave a 5-star review wherever it is that you're listening to this. Follow us on all the social media at Card JoeMeZ. And listen, if you will go and leave us a 5-star review, I would appreciate that. And I'll send you one of the few remaining signed Card JoeMeZ 8x10s from both Gomez and myself as a token of our appreciation. That would be really swell. We would like reviews. Also, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, check it out on YouTube. Maybe you want to watch facial reactions and a bunch of shorts, a bunch of clips, a bunch of stuff. So be a pal, smash the subscribe button over there. Maybe watch a couple of things because everything helps. And we're trying to get to the point where I could quit my miserable job and then just do jury duty and podcasts for life.
That's what I always say. Everyone should want jury duty, right? Everyone's like, work sucks. So hang out at jury duty for a week, bro. It's fun.
Listen, I don't want to spend a week there, but I went, I did my day, and then it went so well that I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. But they made me get there at 7:30 in the morning. So I was like, I gotta go home and take a fucking nap now. And I did a right in the middle of the day nap, and it was stupendous.
Love to hear it.
Gomez literally just woke me up like 15 minutes ago. It was great.
Like, it's time to record, buddy. Let's go.
But Gomez, hit the breaking news music.
Ooh! Breaking news. What's going on this week, bro? What we got?
Gomez, there's a lot of news, and it's a little different type of news than we're used to. Usually I come here with some cool new food items and stuff, but
make me hungry.
We got to talk a little sports right now.
All right, I like sports.
Okay, the baseball season's over. I don't think it ever actually happened or existed. It's probably just a mirage. So who the fuck cares? Well, we had the death of Tim Wakefield this past week. He was suffering from brain cancer, apparently, and wanted to do this very privately and keep it under wraps until a few days before his death. His former teammate and all-around jerkoff, Curt Schilling, comes out on his own podcast and hides behind the defense of his Christianity. Hides behind the defense of his prayer. Because he even says, I don't even think he wants this out there, but I'm a man of faith and I'm a man of prayer. So I want to put, and I'm like, man, go fuck yourself. And this is why people like me hate religion even more than they already do. It's one thing just to like not practice and not give a fuck, but it's these fucking pieces of shit, human excrement like Curt Schilling. Let me put it out there if I haven't made myself clear enough. Curt Schilling is a scumbag piece of shit human being. He swindled the state of Delaware for fucking millions and millions of dollars on his failed business. His political views aside, take out of it, but the fact that he fucking advocated for lynching of journalists, and now this, someone who was supposed to be his teammate, someone supposed to be his friend, who wanted to die in peace, in privately, and for the last few days of his life did not get that luxury because Curt Schilling needed to hide behind the guise of Christianity to make the story about himself. So Curt Schilling, you could go fuck yourself, pal.
I knew he did that. I did not know that whole Jesus angle. Wow. Just
he's a man of prayer, so he needed to put it out there in the world.
Oh my God. Wow. Fucking Curt Schilling, bro.
Speaking of jerk offs, Gomez.
Oh, here we go.
Trevor Bauer. Remember Trevor Bauer?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, picture.
At one point, he was close to becoming a Met, signed a very lucrative deal with the Dodgers. Now, he had this reputation as always being somewhat of a, I don't know what's
Surly.
the word, a free spirit, surly, having a certain attitude towards women. He always had this reputation. And when he goes to the Dodgers, he signs what is effectively the biggest yearly average annual value contract in Major League Baseball history at the time, over $40 million per season.
Crazy.
And well, that's where the salaries
No,
go.
no, I'm just saying, yeah.
It's just, but he's the guy who set the bar for that moment. And almost immediately, stories start coming out about some kind of sexual abuse, possible rape, like very serious allegations.
Yes.
And right away, we're met with graphic photos, graphic messages, all this stuff going on. And it's hard when you see that kind of stuff to almost be like, okay, like you want to believe the victims, right? You want to trust victims. You want people to come out when they are actively, when something is done to them in such a manner. And today, because these impending litigation suits have been closed and Bauer retained his right to speak publicly about it, he went on the offensive, showing text messages from the girl who was suing him and accusing him of all this shit, where she was making it very well known that this was purely a cash grab and she was going specifically for his money. And now I sit here and I go, listen, Trevor Bauer may be a jerk off, but this bitch fucking went out of her way to fucking just try and ruin this dude's life. And that is, and he got nothing out of it because she has no fucking money of her own.
Yeah, she's nobody. She don't matter. Yeah.
It's just some girl trying to get fucking rich from doing nothing.
Crazy story, bro.
And it's fucking, that infuriates me because now what it does is put into question whenever the next person comes out.
The next time. Yep. Don't forget. Remember what happened to Trevor Bauer.
Exactly.
It's 100%. 100%. Now, was this the only allegation? Like, because I remember,
this is the only one that came in front of court.
Okay.
Because there have been other things that they said, like, there's no evidence here.
Okay. Because I remember he got in trouble. I didn't know if it was a whole bunch of shit or just this one, but this was the one main one. Pretty crazy. This guy's pitching in fucking Japan right now because he's been, ostracized from the game. It's pretty shitty, to deal with that. Oh boy. That is
fucking absolute bullshit. And that it infuriates me from multiple sides, right? Because like you have this guy and you're like, okay, he's kind of an asshole, whatever. Like people can be assholes.
Plenty of assholes.
The world takes everyone, terrible. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, there are plenty of assholes who aren't overly terrible. And it's just now this other person, this woman who makes these accusations, now for the people who are affected by real scum of the earth humans who do have shit happen to them, now it is infinitely harder for them to go forward and tell their story and have people believe them. And that's where that fucking burns me, man. I really get fired up about that shit.
Yes, I see. It's understandable. It is real shitty.
But let's talk about something happy now. Like, I just wanted to get that out, like, because
I get to come on
here and vent, and it's very new, and it's it's within the scope of. I mean, we talk about everything here, but like, I really get fucking that shit fucking burns me. The fucking Curt Schilling shit burns me. Like, god damn it. But I want to talk about something happy. Or something, maybe not necessarily happy. Maybe JoeMeZ may even have a problem with this.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, this took a turn. I don't know.
JoeMeZ, how do you feel about the rated R superstar Adam Copeland?
It was even though like all the rumors, they've all pointed to this and everything, but when the music hit, he got to keep his music because it's a real song from a real band. WWE don't own that shit, and they just re-recorded. You think you know me? It's like they even did that shit. Like, it was crazy. once that, I was like, this is pretty awesome. Do I love Edge? I like him a lot. There's been a lot of good Edge and a lot of, I could take or leave some of it. But to see him make the jump like that, it's very exciting to see someone of that caliber do that.
That's the thing that gets me. This isn't just a mid-card guy who's getting released.
Someone who got released. Yes.
Like, this is when Kurt Angle made the jump to TNA and everybody kind of perked up and was like, oh, wait 1 second. Like, this is a top guy. And I don't want to sit here and say I'm the biggest Edge fan either. I think my thing with Edge is just that I wasn't a kid at the time.
Sure.
Like, when Edge was in his prime doing all his main stuff. I like Edge. I think Edge has always been very good. He's been entertaining. It's just as Edge was entering his prime, I was at a different point in my life where these guys stopped seeming larger than life to me. And I always felt kind of like what I said about Triple H. Like, Triple H was the guy who worked with the guy. 100%. That's how I've kind of always felt about Edge. And yet when it comes down to, like, make a list of top 10, top 15, top 20 or whatever, Edge is always a guy I tend to forget about almost. And like, now I recognize that because it's happened multiple times where people have brought that up. Like, oh, you haven't mentioned Edge. Edge and Randy Orton seem to be the two guys where I constantly forget. And I just think that has to do with where my level of fandom was during their peaks. So this is not meant to be like me shitting on Edge by any means. The fact that they got the music is great because music is so identifiable and it's what makes so much of that original pop worth it. But I will say, even with the rumors, I never thought he would make that jump at all. It just seemed he was a WWE guy. And if he wanted to do anything, he would just do it in WWE.
So it seems, but apparently he, here he has more creative freedom. WWE, they use him, but he's on the back nine of his career here. He's come back from retirement of never wrestling again, and he's had a pretty good career after this. Like, he's been around for a couple of years now, and he's had some great matches, some good moments. So, I get it that they're like, we don't want to pay you all this money, you're not really in our plans here.
But they also didn't want to use him in almost a full-time capacity, which is really what he's looking for right now. What appears.
That too, yes. He wants to wrestle, he wants to do things. I guess he's trying to probably make up for that lost time, right? He lost a lot of years not being able to wrestle. So now he's like, hey, I feel good. I want to go. He's excited to have these new matchups with some people. It's probably,
he's in good shape. He looks good. He's still Edge. I mean, obviously, you would think he's probably 45, 46, 47-ish around there. I don't know for sure. Obviously, there's a level where you lose a step, but it's not like it's so dramatic. It's not like he's doing the King Kong Bundy on the Indies tour in 1998 at this point.
Edge will turn 50 this year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I mean, it looks great. It looks incredible.
He looks pretty damn good.
But especially for 50. But this is the big difference. When I was going to indie shows, like those guys probably back then were 49, 48, 50.
Yes, 51. The business has definitely changed.
And you look at the guys I was going to see on the indies, like Brutus Beefcake or Greg Valentine or King Kong Bundy, and they all, Tito Santana even. Tito was always in relatively good shape, but he looked like an older man. Like Edge, he looks grizzled, but I don't think he looks like beaten down, and it's not like he's doing the farewell tour.
No, definitely not. That's the thing. He doesn't want to do the farewell. He wants to be in there. He's going to be there every week, doing promos, doing matches. I think he has a match lined up against Luchasaurus in a week. So he's getting in there. He's a guy
one to start with.
Listen, I know, but it makes sense because he's coming in against Christian and Luchasaurus. They've been a thing.
See, now this is something he's coming in against Christian, and it's just like,
I know they didn't pay all this money to be doing a feud with Christian. Like, let's go,
guys. Get him with the big boys. Not even that. At some point, pro wrestling does not get the same carte blanche like a TV series does. Like Courtney Cox gets to be Monica on Friends and then go home and be Courtney Cox. And then she could go be the fucking reporter in Scream, and she could do all these things and have a real life that doesn't intersect with what she's doing. Like, it's not like she has to date Chandler in real life. Pro wrestling does not get that benefit of the doubt. We know you're friends with Christian. Stop this bullshit where you're feuding with Christian. Like, it's not gonna work. It never does. When everybody knows what your life is, I know it's like, oh, we all know it's a work. Pro wrestling is not the same as the rest of entertainment. It's just not. And it, until further, announcement, it won't be. This is just the way it is. And I go back all the time. Matt and Brian did a feud in Impact where they were fighting each other, but doing a podcast together every week. Oh, but people know it's a work. It doesn't matter. Did nothing. It did nothing for either one of them. It did nothing for the company. It just, so bringing Edge into feud with Christian, why? So we could all take pictures of them at Waffle House together at fucking 2 a.m. after a fucking Dynamite taping?
I guess it's just a way to ease them into the company here. Because where else would you debut Edge, right? You're gonna put him right in the title picture.
No,
something like that. I figure like this kind of eases them in, gets them there, and then they could take them.
Fine, but it's just everyone knows he's not here to fight with Christian.
Yeah, like, no, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Stop. Like that.
I think it's a quick, just kind of here we go. Like, trust me, he's not fighting for this TNT title. I don't think so. Yeah, that's not it. So,
I mean, I would be surprised if Edge ever wins like the title.
No, yeah, I'm sure he'll wrestle for it once.
But I'm sure he'll do a couple matches with MJF or at some point down the line if they continue to run with him.
Yes.
A lot of Adams on that roster now, though.
Yes, perfect for Roddy Strong. Adam! It's the best. It's the best. Roderick Strong is on fire right now, baby. Showing personality.
I wish Roderick Strong was on fire. I've been wishing for 20 years that Roderick Strong was on fire. Son of a bitch, you.
He's killing it, bro. He's killing it.
I wish he was. He's like number 3 on my Kazarian list for just wrestlers that make my eyes bleed. Just absolutely terrible to watch.
From awesomeness. That's what it is. Your eyes can't handle how great it is.
That's it.
The pay-per-view was good. AEW WrestleDream.
I heard a lot of mixed things about it.
It was good. It had a lot of hype going in because it's like, oh, look at this card. But I mean, I got my match. I got my Danielson Zack Sabre Jr. match, and woo,
not for me.
Jablamo all over, baby. Fantastic. So I'm happy. I was a happy boy.
Hey, that's one of those. If you are a fan of like the sport type of wrestling, sure, go ahead. I won't even attempt to watch it because I know it's not for me.
That's fine. Yeah, I get it. It's not for a lot of people. I get it. Mat wrestling, holds, counters. I get it. I love it. It was good shit. So I was happy.
I haven't seen Zack Sabre Jr. in a long time at this point. So it's really unfair for me to critique what he's been doing nowadays. But I remember one of the last times I seen him, I thought everything he did just looked weak. And it became so hard for me to buy into him as this technical wizard because everything just looked weak. It looked very rehearsed. It just, so maybe things have changed. Once again, I'm not going to watch it. I know it's not for me. So why watch something I know I'm not going to like?
I think you still say that. There's still times, it's sometimes, some of those spots, it looks a little, with all the reversals, sometimes it looks a little rehearsed, like, oh, okay. And then I get it.
Gomez, I want to follow up on something actually a couple things we talked about last week. You brought up that Tiny Toons Looniversity had debuted on HBO Max, and I said I owe it to myself.
Sure, I'm
check
excited.
This out.
Yeah.
So it's 13 episodes, all available in one shot. Everything is up there. I've watched 3.
Okay.
It is definitely not the greatest thing ever. I also don't think it's bad.
It's okay.
It's new. I don't necessarily like a couple of the voices because they're strange. Now that Buster and Babs are, and all the characters really, they're aged up a little bit.
Yes, true.
So they've got a little bit deeper voices.
Everyone's voice is different. Like they're kind of doing their own things. Like I'm kind of doing it, but not really. Like, you know, so
exactly. It's trying to harken back, but not really.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fine. I'll probably keep watching it when I'm in the mood for like, oh, you know, like what do I feel like? Oh, you know what? I'll throw an episode of this on. Let me just see where they're going with it. Sure. It's not something I feel you need to be actually committed to, though.
No.
But to have some Tiny Toons back, even the Buster and Babs as brother and sister thing doesn't really bother me. The way they were doing it, the way it was going, you know, they got that twin thing where they don't want to be apart.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to feel themselves a little bit.
Of course, so, college.
All right. So that was Tiny Toons. I would say definitely it's worth checking out. If you were like a Tiny Toons fan,
I think you should see it if you grew up with it, and it's interesting to see what they're doing with it. Always, you know, always check that new stuff out.
And the next thing I want to talk about is the 6th John Wick movie.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Continental Episode 2.
Sticking with it, okay.
Which, listen, they must have listened to last week's podcast because they shaved down the time this week.
Oh, okay. It's normal.
To 1 hour and 19 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
And I'll be honest with you. I said last week it was fine. It was okay. It's just very long.
This one's not.
This one fucking sucked.
Oh, no.
This one was long. It was fucking boring. I found myself like almost completely unable to stay focused on watching this show. Just so fucking boring.
What's happening in the show? Is there a lot of talking?
It's a lot of
explaining, a lot of explaining shit.
It's not even a lot of explaining. It's character builds.
Okay.
And it's Winston. Before he's in charge of the Continental, he's like some guy who has a relationship with Mel Gibson, who's the head of the Continental at this point.
Okay.
But Winston's brother tried to steal from the high table. So now he's dead, but the thing he stole is still missing.
Okay.
Now Winston is trying to raise his own army to take out the people who killed his brother.
Sure.
But those people are still coming back because they're trying to get this item back.
Okay.
And I assume it's going to conclude with Winston's rise to prominence and becoming the head of the Continental. But how many fucking movies can they do with these? Like,
I think there's one episode left. I think it's
supposed to be 3.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't end like that, what are we doing?
Gotta come back for next year.
That's like going to see Rise of the Sith and Anakin doesn't turn heel at the end. You know what I mean?
Nah, you gotta come back, bro. It's a 3-parter. They would do that now, right? They would cut it into 2 parts. Like, wait, hold on.
It's like Mel Gibson laying on the floor in New York City. Winston, you were my brother.
So it sounds like I'm not missing anything with this
You're
show.
Not at all.
Maybe I'm not gonna watch it at all.
Unless this final chapter is an absolute banger, I don't think you need to watch this.
I mean, like I said, maybe we'll see. If you watch the next one, I'll go off of what you say if it's good enough, because it's like 5 hours. It's like
this is already we're at 3 hours of runtime, legitimately.
Yeah. And so now it's going to be at least another hour and something. So it's 4 or 5 hours.
Finale, make it 3 hours. Why not?
It's got to be a double packed episode. Oh man! All right, don't watch it, folks. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really into that world, go right ahead. Right?
How about if you're enjoying it? Let us know. Tell us. Maybe you could sell it to where I go, oh, maybe Joe's not selling it right. Maybe I'm gonna.
Because I think the first chapter is relatively interesting because you're okay. I know this character
into this world.
I know he's supposed to be here, and there's this stuff going. But the second one is just all right. Now we're gonna start a war, and now we're gonna start a war, and now we gotta find guns, and now these people are pissed, and they want to find guns, and it's just so. It's like make something happen. Let something happen. It just felt like we're building. At some point, you can't build for an hour and a half. Like I don't have that in me.
I get it. All right. Scratch it off. Got any more stuff for me here, Joe?
I just got 2 big movies that I've indulged in this week. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to sneak in right now.
So like I've mentioned, I've really only watching horror stuff. Like I'm not like I've been any extra time is horror. So I guess actually the only other thing I watched was Ahsoka. Did you watch Ahsoka? You ready for the finale?
I did watch Ahsoka.
It's good. Things ended a little too happy, right? It's a little too nice. Like, because we got an episode that's supposed to end the season. And it's a little too happiness going. So I'm wondering how crazy we're going to get, bro. I'm excited. I am excited.
Like I said, and we've spoken about this, where the first 2 episodes that they released at the same time felt kind of slow. Once I got into it, though, I felt like, okay, like this is great. I'm in. Like, let's roll. And now, I don't know, man. I don't trust this Sabine. I just don't trust her.
I mean, you know, she was shady already. Well, who's gonna say she's not gonna do it again? So I get it. But definitely, we are getting a season finale that is not gonna wrap up shit. Like you know, there's so much going on that it's just like maybe we'll wrap up one thing. Like I guess probably will end maybe with like Thrawn is finally
getting
like,
off the planet.
Like he's off the planet. Like, oh no, Thrawn is back, and it's like, oh okay. And then we'll lead into season 2 of the movie.
Also, the Senate has to be, you know, bad or, you know.
Yes, we need to start getting the reversal there. So yeah, so just Ahsoka, that's it. And then some horror movies. The only thing I would shout out is I watched this one movie. I was a little disappointed. It's this movie called Till Death Do Us Part. Let me read you the synopsis, right? It sounds like a good idea, I think, here, right? It says here, after bailing on her wedding, a former bride-to-be must fight off her ex-groom and 7 angry killer groomsmen in order to survive the night. Right? So it's like a Scott Pilgrim kind of horror movie, it sounds like, right?
But she's got to fight her new husband and the 7 evil exes.
Well, she bailed on the wedding. So now the husband's like, oh, you don't marry me. Now me and my boys are going to get you, right? That's how I took it, reading the synopsis.
That's what, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But as soon as the movie starts, you right away know, even though they don't tell you until later on, but it's not like it's a secret, really. They're like letting you know that there's something more to it. It seems like they're kind of like assassin-y, like hitmen type of people. And so that kind of changes the dynamic of the movie. Right now, I wouldn't even call it a horror movie. It's kind of just like an action movie, right?
Because it's a
bride, and now these 7 people are trying to get in. Yeah, like so they're trying to get in and get her. So like I was very disappointed in that because that's not the movie. Tell me they're these assassin people, and then I'll be like, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. But a horror movie like that sounds good. That was a great idea. I love it. A Scott Pilgrim horror movie. Sign me up. Nope, not what I got, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but I'm sure you'd put it on a list for me at some point.
Yes, exactly. If this movie was good, this is definitely something I would have been like, oh, Joe, let's add this to the list here. It sounds interesting. I hope, like I say, I'm always trying to find interesting things, right? Maybe you'd be interested in this. So let me tell you one more movie. You want to hear one more movie, Joe?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It's called Good Boy. Okay. This movie
is about an evil dog.
You want me to let me read you the synopsis for this one? You ready, Joe? Okay. Christian, a millionaire heir, meets Ingrid, a young student on a dating app. They hit it off quickly, but there's only one problem. Christian lives with Frank, a man who dresses up and constantly acts like a dog. So you watch the trailer and it's like, oh, these 2 people are having a good time, right? And then she wakes up from a nice night and there's a fucking dude in a dog suit sitting at the bed, like just like, like watching them. And so then the movie is about what's going on with this dog person and is she gonna be into it and stuff like that. This one's on VOD. If you find it, you're gonna have to pay for it. But it's good. I like weird shit like this. So this is definitely one of them weird ass movies.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of am interested.
I'll send it to you, baby. We'll hook it up.
Yeah, and you know what? On second thought,
next week, folks. Oh man, yeah. So that's it. That's it. I've watched other stuff, good, bad, but those are two standouts that I felt I needed to say something about.
Well, JoeMeZ, I spent this weekend taking in the celebration of Saw Patrol weekend.
I fucking love it.
I said, you know what? I had so much fun during Barbenheimer.
Uh-oh.
If there's one thing I love, it's toys and explosions. And Barbenheimer weekend gave it to me. And I said, I know something similar is going to be coming my way with Saw Patrol weekend. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see Paw Patrol. And JoeMeZ said, I got to watch Saw. So this is a good way for me to embrace the celebration, right? Be part of the cultural landscape.
Always good to do that.
So I know nothing about Paw Patrol.
I'm very excited to hear about this.
Because even the little people in my life were like a little too old for Paw Patrol. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like they were more Blue's Clues than, you know, they kind of grew out of it. So they got different things now. So I know nothing about this thing going in, except that it's a bunch of dogs. I didn't know that they have occupations. I just thought they were like dogs who did cosplay.
No, everyone has a different thing. Yeah. Fireman. Stuff like that.
There's Chase and he's on the case. And then there's Sky. And then I don't know what the fuck their name. Toots and Bailey. I think everyone's got a dog named Bailey nowadays.
Zuma, Rubble. Come on, we know.
So let me read this description to you. This is called Paw Patrol. This is a sequel. Yes. Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie.
Yes, see, because so let me explain something.
Nope. I'm gonna explain it to you.
You explain. You explain it, and then I'll tell you about it.
I'm gonna explain it to you because I've done some research.
Okay, tell me.
So, a magical meteor crash lands in Adventure City and gives the Paw Patrol superpowers, transforming them into the Mighty Pups. And this is rated PG, which is very different because I would just assume a movie for children this young, and it feels like it's for a very young demographic here.
It is, yes.
I would assume it's for rated G. But we get a Dora the Explorer short that leads into it, which was cute and fun and quick. And this is basically like the Paw Patrol going through their own Infinity War movie. And they get the stones, and they each get a power, and then a Thanos-like person wants to take it from them and keep all the power for herself.
Yes.
But Joey Hudson, who listens to this show, we call him the Minnesota Miracle Man because cheering for the Vikings all these years, it's a miracle you haven't hung yourself. Joey Hudson. Why do I always pick on the Vikings here? I don't even know why that's a thing.
No, they fucking suck. That's
hey, they won this weekend for the first
time. The first win of the year. Yeah. Celebrate.
Joey Hudson thought I was joking that I went to see the Paw Patrol movie. And he said, would you like my review? And I said, I would love it because he has young children. He took his daughter to see this movie. And I said, no, I actually did see it. He's shocked. And he sent me an article to read. JoeMeZ, there is a Paw Patrol multiverse taking place. And I assume this is what you were going to say.
Tell me.
That the movies do not exist in the same universe as the TV show. Yeah. Because this storyline happened on a made-for-TV movie in 2018 called Paw Patrol Mighty Pups. And now that's kind of accepted as TV canon, where they don't, not necessarily that the Paw Patrol show is very has very continuous storylines. It's very loose there, but they don't feel the need to reestablish that continuity whenever they bring back these Mighty Pup segments to do the TV show. But here, and I guess in the first movie, which came out 2 years ago, happens in an alternate timeline now that has no relevance to the TV show. And I think that is absolutely insane.
They're trying to keep everything separate, bro. It's like, what are we doing? It's a show about dogs who help people. Like, it's help. I'm stuck in the tree. Okay, here's the like that's the fucking Paw Patrol episodes. That's what it is. It's like there's nothing crazy to it.
I couldn't believe, like, reading this article, and I'll link to it on social media if you guys want to actually check it out.
Yes, I want to hear about it.
It blew my mind because I'm watching this movie, and like I said, I knew nothing about Paw Patrol going in, and I'm watching it, and I'm going, okay, this is like, I like kid stuff and cartoons and all that, but even this is like too young even for me. But I can appreciate that the kids who are into this and their parents who have to watch it with them, I'm like, oh, this is probably really good. The people seem to be eating it up with a spoon in the theater. We had a pretty good crowd in the theater. The kids were laughing at all the stuff. They were into it. Great. When during the Dora the Explorer thing, there's a thing where Dora turns to you and she goes, now I need all the kids to yell this. And those kids were yelling it.
Love it. Fucking love it. Excellent.
You know, so they were into it. They were having a good time. So I left the theater thinking, wow, I guess that was pretty good. It definitely not for me, but everyone there seemed to have a good time. And I didn't leave walking out going, oh, that fucking sucks. Like, I'm glad I don't have to watch any of that shit. Like, I was just like, oh, that's fine, whatever. But now when you tell me that this is a part of a larger multiverse, I'm saying, what the fuck?
It's so funny. See, I forgot that it was the superhero movie because the last one was just the regular Paw Patrol movie. So I was like, oh, that's right. It's the fucking because every once in a while they're superheroes for no reason. It's just like random. Hey, it's a superhero episode. It's so funny.
I'm amazed that they were able to get away with basically recycling a whole storyline.
Like, because you fix it up and you make it nicer, you know, you expand it. You know, it's added to it.
Like,
you know.
What do they just tell the people in the studio, like, oh, like, I understand we did this as a made-for-TV movie 5 years ago, but this happens in a different universe.
I'm sure I don't know the differences. I'll do that. Let's look. We'll link an article. I'm sure there's an article that says.
Article I read it does break.
Oh, it has every difference. Oh, okay.
Well, not like every difference, but it breaks down like how the first movie actually takes place in a different timeline, and it has a lot to do with the heel who's the mayor of the town or whatever.
Yes.
So it's in this he's the mayor, but in this he's not the mayor, which indicates a different there's a lot going on in the Paw Patrol, more than I have ever realized. But I'm still gonna give the movie a triple main man because I thought it was at least okay.
Yes, it was the number one movie of the weekend, right? It
was the number one movie. This was not a big box office weekend at all. I genuinely thought both of these movies would have higher turnouts, and they didn't. Paw Patrol did come in first with 23 million. And then Saw, like, to me, this almost feels like shit in the bed, although I know it's done on a small budget, and I know these movies, you know, accrue throughout time. Saw did 18 million.
That's the second best opening of Saw ever. So
is it really?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't expect 100 million out of Saw, but I genuinely expected 25, 30 million. I thought first big horror movie of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always done that, and it was the biggest. Was like the last one. Like, so it's like the last two that came out with the biggest openings, and I think it's on par with like the first one. So it's consistent. It's funny. I would have thought more too, but then you see the numbers and they're like, oh, they're happy with it because this is right on line with what it's supposed to be.
Now, we did have a third movie that was a new release this week called The Creator.
Yes, I tried to get to that one.
And that was some kind of sci-fi movie. So you had your pick, whether you wanted sci-fi or horror or family, whatever. The creator also made $14 million.
So that's not a bad weekend. Yeah.
Different from,
yeah.
There's not too huge a difference between 1 and 3. And there's another movie that came in number 5 this week, another new release called The Blind, which I have no idea what that is about.
The Blind, I don't know.
But Barbie finally kicked out of the top 5 all the way down to number 10.
Yeah, because now it's on VOD. So now people just spending that money watching at home, bro. Forget that shit.
Yep.
Lugging those kids around. Oppenheimer still not on VOD, bro. Still not available to rent. It's crazy.
Good.
It's like it's making his money. I believe he had something in his contract that there was supposed to be a window, like you're not allowed to put this on VOD until a certain amount of time with the this and that. Because he's very like, hey, let me make my money, bro. I'm making adult movies. Come on, it's different.
And he gets to call his shots too. It's not like he's some first-time director that is gonna get screwed here.
Yeah, and that was his first movie with the new company. So, they were giving him whatever fun. Yes, you want to come make movies for us? Yes, sir. Here you go. Anything you want. There you go. Yes, you want to make a movie about an atom bomb for 100, like, no one promised, like, we just got to fucking do it, bro. We just got to let him do it. It'll make some money back. And we'll be happy. Then maybe he'll make a better one the next time. There's no way, come on. It all worked out. They're like, yes, I knew it all along. Lying bastards. Oh, Joe, so you watched one half of this wonderful, wonderful weekend. Ooh, I'm so excited to hear about this second half, baby.
It's the season. The spooky snake season.
Oh, baby, spooky snake season is in full effect here because we got a brand new Saw movie. Oh, baby, Saw X. Ooh, they're counting all those other ones. They're counting Spiral. They're counting that Chris Rock one because there's only 7 Saw movies. Then there was the Jigsaw, then the Spiral, and then this. So this is the 10th that is about the universe. But woo, Joey, you love the first Saw movie. This is essentially Saw 2. So I'm very excited to hear what you thought about seeing your boy John Kramer on the big screen for the first time.
Saw X Gomez, a sick and desperate John Kramer travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable.
So I didn't even know what the movie was about because I don't pay attention. So they give you a lot of information next. That's a big reveal in the thing, like, oh shit,
yes.
Oh, and they just give it away there. So I gotta see the trailer now. Maybe they do that in the trailer too. I don't know, but okay, I gotta see.
Obviously, I knew nothing going in. It's not like I was looking for Saw updates.
Yes, of course, I'm sure. Oh, so I'm very excited because this movie for the first half. It's like a regular fucking movie. You're watching a regular ass movie.
Yeah, it's a drama.
It's like wow. I was sitting there like, okay, and then it's like, hey guys, don't forget we're a Saw movie. We didn't forget, and then it like cranks the fuck up,
and it takes way too long to get to that point, in my opinion. This is I get it. 2-hour movie, hour 58.
I didn't even realize. Okay,
it just as you're watching it, and you're seeing him go through the trials and tribulations of coming to grips with the fact that he has this terminal form of cancer, and he's going to his meetings and he's researching and he's going to doctors and all this stuff, and he's really going through it, and rightfully so. Sure. And it's just okay, but like, what do we like? When are we getting to the actual movie? Like, I know the movie is not just going to be him going to get
to the clinic
experimental procedure.
No, it's true. I was watching it and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is interesting. I was like, this is an interesting Saw, because Saw movies are not like this. Saw movies are usually to the point. There's a mystery going on. Usually like continuation from the past one. Like every Saw movie is about the last one. So there's always something going on. There's always a quick scene. There's always a trap. We get a trap, and then we get 10 minutes of stuff going on. Then we get a trap. So there's always something going. This movie, boy, you just hanging out with John Kramer, just chilling, having some coffee, just scribbling in a notepad.
Now we do get one scene early in the movie where he's at like a hospital getting one of his tests done, and he sees a janitor who's about to steal from a patient who is unconscious at the time, and Kramer has like a vision of what he would like to do to this person. It's not something that's actually happening, but it's something that he would like to see happen. And I'm gonna be saying this throughout this movie. I am very squeamish. I do not like gore. I especially have a thing when it comes to eyes. I cannot wear contact lenses because I don't like anything being around my eyes. I don't like touching my eyes or reaching. Like, I have a thing with eyes. So there is a large portion of this movie.
The first trap right away.
The first trap right away. I couldn't watch it. There is, I would say, a legitimately probably 12 minutes, 15 minutes of movie time where I'm covering my face because I do not want to watch what's on screen. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I couldn't wait for this fucking thing to be over.
That's a Saw movie. It makes you uncomfortable. That's what they want. They want that. That don't look. That squeamish. Cover your face. 100%. That's what Saw's about, baby. Listen, so like I said, I'm watching the movie, right? It's normal, and then when the Saw stuff starts happening, and the lady with the leg, I'll just say the lady with the leg, right? And I'm just like, oh, I feel so bad for Joe. I literally said that out loud to Kelly. Yeah, I was like, I feel bad. Like, this is a rough movie. Like, this is rough. Like, I forget what a Saw movie's like. Like, this is rough for someone who's not into horror movies.
And not only that, but everybody in the movie. Now, John Kramer's going through it. He's dealing with terminal cancer. It's not like he's a good person. This is not the kind of person we should be feeling bad for. And yet, now I'm having to watch a movie where the bad person gets fucking scammed. And now I'm put in the position where they want me to cheer for him, for John Kramer. He has now become the protagonist of this film. And I'm sitting there going, no. Like, you can't do this to me. How dare you?
This is the only movie that does that. He is not in the other movies. He always explains why he does it. He's, I'm helping you, blah, 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 bullshit. But he is always the bad guy. And we're usually following a detective or like a family member who is trying to find someone. So yeah, this is a change of pace here. But look, they make you feel bad, bro. That's pretty scummy to do to someone, bro. Fake surgery.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! Like, that was fucking wild.
Apparently, there seems to be like a fan theory that this is a tie-in to Saw 6. So where he goes to Norway to have his, he gets turned down for a procedure because of he gets denied insurance coverage. That he wanted to go to Norway. Apparently, this is a tie-in with that he's seeking the same treatment because the father of this Cecilia Peterson is actually doing his stuff in Norway. So people think he's actually searching for the same thing here that he ends up trying to lock down in Saw 6.
Look at this. Oh, yes. They had some callbacks here. See, so like certain things in here, little callbacks, but you don't know because you haven't seen the movie. Correct. Like you see Amanda is there. She was in the first one, but she was in the first one.
I did find out she was in I had zero memory of her in the first one.
So she's in the first one. She's the one who survives the saw trap. The only one who survives. She gets out of the Blair Claw. And so later on in the series, she becomes, John Kramer's apprentice. So this is just showing it the first steps of it. But like, that's a big reveal in number 2. Is that she's in on it and oh my goodness, and then she's supposed to take over and so like that. That wig, bro. Whoo, what a wig on her. That was some of the that was terrible because she had the short hair back in the day. And boy, that was, I mean, I don't know if it bothers everyone, but a wig like that, woof, I couldn't. I was like, this is some shit, bro. Put some money into this fucking department. What are we doing here? Joe, did you have a favorite trap? Everyone usually has a favorite trap that they love.
Oh God, no.
Which one did you have to turn your face away the least?
The first one, the least?
Yeah, the least. Which one wasn't like the worst?
Probably the one that John Kramer ends up on with the kid Carlos. That rack. That was probably the one that least bothered me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The girl Gabriella who was hanging and she had the radio. Right. That one wasn't as bad as the other ones. The ones with the guy in the having to conduct his own brain surgery.
Yes.
As crazy. Well as the woman with the leg. Oh my God, absolutely not.
Those are, but like I said, that is a normal response. That is, how was your theater? Was it full? Did you have people in there?
No, you know what?
See, that's upsetting.
It was.
That's what I wanted for you.
So first off, I was surprised. Now, normally I say I like to go to the earliest show possible.
Yeah, 10, 11. Yeah.
And sometimes for new releases, we'll even have early shows as early as 9:30.
Love
for
it.
Saw. And I'm assuming it's because of the type of movie, obviously.
Maybe,
but the earliest showing wasn't until 1:40 in the afternoon.
That's pretty crazy for the big release this week.
That's late.
Yeah,
like at least a noon.
That's 2-3 showings. Yeah, you can show twice already.
So I was like, oh my God, this place is gonna be packed. And I would say maybe it was like there was people there, but maybe a third full.
So I wanted that for you. I went opening night. I went Thursday night, 9:30. So my shit was packed out. And everyone's doing the reactions that you would, you know.
Oh, mine. You could have heard a pin drop.
Oh, wow. Really? See, that's because that's part of the fun is seeing who could take what, you know, like I said, there's some crazy shit going on in the movie. And a lot of people are like Joe, even if they are fans of horror, it's still like, oh, shit. And oh man, that sucks.
I do not have a stomach for this shit at all. I don't want to see it. When he brings in the first guy who was the cab driver and he's got the pipe bombs connected to his arms.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you could either cut them out or I'm just, nope. We are not doing this today. At one point I did consider leaving because I don't like it. I don't want to see it.
I get it. What how long would you last in a saw trap, Joe? Are you just finished? Are you even gonna attempt to cut that bomb off your arm?
No, absolutely
right?
not. Done.
I don't know if I could do that shit. It's crazy.
But this is why I try to be a good person and only fucking talk shit about Curt Schilling.
Right, this guy, the Asian janitor was stealing a man's watch. So you know what the punishment is? Your eyeballs get sucked out and your fingers get fried. Oh man, let me hit some music. Oh, this is gonna be sad.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
All right, Joe. Saw X. Ooh, baby. What you got here?
It's just not for me. I don't think this is terrible by any means. But it most certainly it's very uncomfortable. I hated being there. I hated having to watch this movie. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask anyone to watch this movie. I will never, ever, ever, ever even attempt to want to watch this movie ever again. It was fucking horrible to have to be there and sit through. Now, on the other side of the coin, there are things in this movie, obviously, the ingenuity that goes into creating these.
He's a fucking genius, this Kramer. Fucking incredible, this man.
And I will say that even though I don't agree, like, and I said, I don't want to have to cheer for this man, but I completely get the motivations, because now he's showing up and Amanda's showing up with a list of all the people that they've ripped off. And this is a list of these people who this is their shot. They've given up every single dollar that they have to try to get this, whatever procedure it is, to try to save their lives, to buy more time. You've taken advantage of the people who are most vulnerable in the world and just want to hang on. So I get the motivation for doing this. Now, at one point, the evil doctor Cecilia says, "Oh, I just outsmarted the what is he fucking not the ghost face killer, the fucking whatever Jigsaw. The jigsaw killer." Like, and I'm going, what? Like, is he that big news? Like, around the world? Like we didn't mention this fucking once, and now you're like, oh, I fucking I knew it. I knew he was the jigsaw guy all fucking along, and now Cecilia Peterson, have outsmarted him. I did it. And like, it's just like shit like that, where I'm like, this is only supposed to be part 2. So this movie takes place in, I guess, 2000 and I don't know, 5-ish. I probably have the timeline wrong there a little bit. But the first Saw came out in the early, right? So early 2000s. And also her phone, and I don't know if this is true or not, but when I saw that she had this old white BlackBerry, I said, I don't think that phone existed at this point yet. Now, someone will have to fact check me on that, but that's just me being neurotic and noticing something and saying, I don't really remember that becoming a phone until probably around 2009. So that could be that. This movie's just not for me. I understand people are going to like it. From everything I've heard is that the people who do enjoy horror, they are loving this movie. I've heard so much positive stuff, but I hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it so goddamn much. But it's probably a triple main man. It's probably a triple main man because it's not a bad movie. It's just fucking gross to have to sit through. And my one biggest concern that I had in this movie, one of the big question marks for me that I thought was going to go left unanswered, actually does get cleared up in a mid-credit scene.
Ooh,
because I was like, yo, like, yeah, all these people did this, but what happened to that fucking guy who put John Kramer onto this surgery?
That's right, the main guy.
Actually go back and handle that in the mid-credits.
Yes, and you get a call back. That's
the detective.
Yes, the Detective Hoffman.
Yeah.
He's great. Love him. Look, I love to hear this. Oh, Joe, did you like when the music kicked in? Remember? Did you get what I was trying to do?
I started laughing. I'm like, this is what he was trying to. This is how Gomez sings this music.
You know, you knew what I was. Come on,
I don't know the Saw music like that. To me, it's not like iconic like the Halloween. You know. Like,
if you like Saw, you love the Saw music, because like I said, that's how every movie ends, with some kind of reveal, and it's like, oh shit, and that music plays, and that's how it wraps up. Joe, I'm probably gonna go 3 here also, because I really enjoyed the movie, but it does take a while to get going. The John Kramer stuff is very long. I didn't even realize the movie was 2 hours. When you say that, I'm like, oh shit. I get that, because I felt like, oh man, this is like, you know, when we get into Saw stuff, I was like, I get it, you know, I've seen 100 different versions of Halloween, right? Everyone's doing Halloween, but everyone's always trying to mix it up. So I was like, maybe we mixing up Saw. Maybe it's not going to be like that. But then it does, and then it's fantastic. It's wonderful. I feel if you like Saw movies, you like this movie. This is a regular Saw movie. It takes a while to get going, but then it's a regular ass Saw movie that you're going to be hooting and hollering at the nastiness. So I'm gonna give it a 3. It's probably middle of the pack. If I had to rank, you know, Saw movies, it's somewhere in the middle there. It's good. There's some good shit in there. So, oof, baby, I'm happy that you hated the gore of it, but the rest of it, you were on board. Like you weren't like, ugh, this fucking movie. It's just you can't handle that type of horror.
And I don't want to.
Yes, and that's fine. Look, I've done it like once or twice, right? Inside was pretty rough. Other than that, I'm not trying to show you rough stuff. Like rough isn't fun because I know you don't like it, and that's not fun. You're just gonna shut off and like I don't care about this. So
and like I said, I did consider walking out of this movie. I was just like, I don't want to do this.
If you told me you did, I would agree. Like I said, I halfway through, I'm like, oh man, he really don't like shit like this. This is rough.
Not at all.
So, I'm happy you like this movie. This is very good. See, we're starting off good here. Very good. Next week, Joe, we're gonna bring on a friend here. I know how much you love your wheels. So I got some wheels coming up here for the next couple of weeks of spooky snake season. There's just so many choices to show you. I never know what to show you. So we're gonna let the wheel decide. But hold on, these are good wheels. This wheel we're gonna do this week, Joe, it's a good one.
Oh, we're doing a wheel this week.
Yes, every week we got a wheel for the rest of it. 3 wheels to wrap this up. Come on, you love wheels. Again, these are good wheels. This wheel this week is modern classic. So these are movies that are supposed to be really good. I'm showing you,
and I have very different interpretations of what a classic is.
I'm going by what other people say, because some of these I might like more than others. Some I might feel are more classics than others. But I'm letting the people decide. High ratings, what people vote on for best stuff like that. So I think we're gonna have a good week here. Let's pull up this wheel, baby. Let's get here. Let's see. I put 8 choices on here. Some good stuff. Most of these are streaming on Max, with 1 or 2 exceptions. These I will put on the Twitch stream, but it's lots of stuff, lots of different genres here. I'm excited to see what we land on. I'm excited to see. So let's spin this wheel. Where the hell's my thing? Here we go, spinning it.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay. It's a good one. Here we go. All right. This is Ready or Not. This is what it landed on. Of course, it's one of the ones that's not on Max. This is
a documentary about the Fugees, correct?
No. This is a 2019 release. It is about, let's see, how do we describe this? A bride on her wedding night, or close to, I think it's the wedding night, has to play a game with the family, her new family. It's a game of hide and seek, but takes a little dark turn here.
Of course.
No, but this is not a serious. This is more in line of a silly. This is more of a silly type movie. It's not social, like there's some horror stuff, but it's like this is not a rough movie. There's not, of all the ones on the list, this is one of the chill movies here.
Okay. And where can we find this, JoeMeZ?
This is going to be on the Twitch all weekend long. Twitch.tv/Mez movie. It's been out for many years. Maybe you guys have seen it already. If not, come on in, watch it with us. Joe's going to like this one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
No, listen, everyone on, listen, I think you would have liked, I put 8 on there. I think you probably would have liked 6 of the 8. I'm telling you. Listen. I'm always trying to show fun stuff. Nothing makes me happier, Joe, when you tell me you love a movie, a horror movie that I pick. So that's my goal. I'm trying to show you fun stuff. Don't worry. Nothing I'm going to show you this year is something that I think you're going to be like, boo this man.
You haven't been very happy over the past 6 or 7 years, have you?
Yes, I feel every year you like 4 out of the 6. There's always 2, but the problem is there's always something that I think you're going to love and then you hate. That's what happens. Okay. You love most of the stuff. Not love. You like most of the stuff, but then you hate something that I'm like, he's got to love this. This he's got to love. That's what makes me crazy. So let's see if we could do it next week. Ready or not? Here we go. Think it's going to be a fun one. It's a fun movie. That's it. That's next week, Joe. Come on, baby.
Let's finish up this week.
Let's wrap it up.
It's now time for the big Finish.
All right, baby. It's time to spin the wheel, the real wheel, right? We don't care about those other wheels.
This the real steel wheel, starring Hugh Jackman, who got absolutely. Did you? Let's put. Hold on. Let's put the wheel down for a second.
All right. What happened? What happened with the wheel?
Did you watch that Sunday night football game with the Jets and the Chiefs?
I did not. I saw some clips, but what happened? What's going on here?
Taylor Swift, obviously, they're showing her nonstop, and at some point, it gets to the point where it's like uncomfortable. Like, leave this girl alone. Yes. It's way too much. But she's in a booth with Deadpool, Wolverine, Blake Lively, Sophie Turner. They're all in this booth together, and they act like none of those people are anyone. There is not one mention like, oh, and there's Ryan Reynolds with his wife, Blake Lively. Like, no, it's Taylor Swift and friends.
So funny.
Like, even the pregame, they show her coming through the security and she's got to go through a metal detector. Right behind her is Ryan Reynolds. And I do a double take. I go, wait a minute. Is she with Ryan Reynolds? And right behind him was Hugh Jackman. And no one cared. Like, they're stars. Those are stars. Those are movie stars.
Nope.
No one cared.
Nope. No one cares, bro. There's only one star in the world. That's it.
It's unbelievable. Like, I get it. I get it. But, like, to not even mention, like, Hugh Jackman.
Other people are famous too.
Like, you would think the NFL would be like, oh my God, this is like
celebrity this is awesome.
With the Lakers game. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
And it was just
NFL don't know how to act.
Taylor Swift with a whole bunch of and then it's Mike Tirico all night trying to fit in every Taylor Swift song title into some play. And he's like, oh, it looks like the receiver found some blank space on that play.
They think they're clever.
And then once the Jets tied it at 20, I made the mistake of going, feels like they're 22.
Stupid. Well, we're talking about football real fast. That Toy Story game, bro.
Oh my God, I loved it.
It was so awesome.
No,
that was crazy.
It was a mess, but I think it was fun. I can't wait to see what happens when they iron out the kinks. I think it's going to be great.
I hope they do it next year again. It was
because
so fun.
You and I are in the minority that love the Nickelodeon one where they slime things and the touchdowns.
The best. Shit. Oh my God, I love the Nickelodeon. They're probably still going to do it this year. I would hope. I believe for the playoffs they're going to do a playoff game again. So I can't wait.
Like I said, there's obviously some kinks that need to be ironed out here, but the people I saw complaining about it, I'm like, you're 40-year-old man. Like, this is not for you. This is to get kids watching football and have fun and be different. Like, no one cares what you think. Like, really, like, genuinely, no one cares.
The problem is the game was on ESPN Plus. Nobody got that, but everybody got Disney.
Except me because of my bundle.
Oh, it was good. Oh, man. Good
All right,
shit.
Let's spin this wheel.
Let's get that wheel up. And let's spin it. Come on, Adam Sandler. Let's go. Nope. No Adam Sandler. Not even close this time. For once, the streak has ended. No Adam Sandler. But we got a good one here. Marvel villains. That's gonna be fun here, Joey.
Is it?
Here we go. So it could be any Marvel because MCU. I was gonna say
because if it's just the MCU, it's very very slim pickings.
So I mean, if you want, I figure we just do anything that's Marvel. You could say movie, comic, whatever makes you happy.
All right. So in that case, my number one is gonna be Doctor Doom.
Yo, that was my number one, bro.
Why? I used to have this pair of like isotoner gloves or whatever, or Freezy Freakies. They were the Freezy Freakies. They used to change color in the cold and shit. And I'd be like, oh, this is the glove of Dr. Doom. I don't know why I did that, but I did.
I do it because I like some Fantastic Four comics that I always enjoyed. So Dr. Doom is great.
Well, you should have gotten some Freezy Freaky gloves as a kid.
I love it. Ooh, I'm me think. Who else do I like here? There's a couple. I mean, I guess if we mix it up through all space and time, right? I mean, I always loved Sabretooth on the X-Men TV show, right? He was big and bad, always fighting Wolverine. So I always loved that shit.
You know who's going to be mine then? If we're thinking about that, Mr. Sinister.
Oh, there you go. That's good. Yeah.
About this. I talk about it all the time. I just thought he was the fucking coolest.
Oh, that's a good one. And where? I mean, I guess. See, because I was a 90s kid, right? So, you know, I was a big Venom guy. So I guess, I mean, but he's like a hero now. I mean, back then he was a bad guy, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe not.
I don't know where to go with this next, because I would think probably someone within like the Spider-Man verse, but he doesn't really have great villains. Really, Spider-Man's greatest adversary is his own self-confidence. And
he fights himself, yes.
Yeah, and maybe Thanos, maybe I think Galactus is really cool looking, but I don't really like Galactus like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, just because he's one of my favorite heroes, so I enjoy the villain, I'm gonna say the Red Skull as number 3.
Interesting. That's not bad. Red Skull's not bad. I like the Red Skull. All right. So yeah, I always think of Spider-Man. He does have fun villains, but I don't know if I would say any of them are my favorites, right? Like, he's got some good, they're fun, they're cool. And if I don't say Venoms, I don't want to say Venom. So, I'm gonna say mix it up. So we got a little bit of everything. I'm gonna say MCU Thanos. Thanos is great.
Yeah,
great villain. Fun. So I'll say that. There we go. We'll mix it in here.
Yeah, I'm okay with that list. I had Dr. Doom, I had Mr. Sinister, and then closed it out with the Red Skull. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Dr. Doom, Sabretooth from the TV show X-Men, and then the MCU Thanos. That's a little bit of everything there. That's not bad.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to subscribe to this show wherever it is that you're listening to it, or if you're watching on YouTube, remember to leave those 5-star reviews. Leave plenty of comments down on the YouTube. Follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. Follow all my personal stuff: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, now on Blue Sky, because I got an invite code from Gomez, so you can follow me Blue Sky sucks, by the way, but that's it.
Because no one's on there. There's
no one's on there. You can't find anyone. It's fucking terrible.
It's so stupid.
So it's like you got to put in actual work to be able to find people to follow on Blue Sky, and I ain't about that life. But I am the Joe Shoes on all of that stuff. Of course, you can help support by going to prowrestlingtees.com/Joe Shoes and buying a shirt, or watching some videos on youtube.com/Joe Shoes.
The Gomez 154, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and don't forget that's Twitch stream. We're showing Ready or Not, a big movie for the weekend. Twitch.tv/Mez movie. Come watch it with us.
Yeah, come watch this modern classic, because I'll be the judge of that next week. But thank you guys for coming by this week. And until then, let's make like Tom and Cruise.
Peace.